Welcome to Puzzles and Dragons 101. Today is going to be a messier lesson, but because I'm going not without a script like I always do at every one of my videos. But yeah, let's just get to it. This one is going to be about dungeons. And how dungeons work. We've done the monsters. We've done the monsters or units, whatever you want to call them. So, first, we're going to get this one out of the way. Stories right here is just where you're going to get all the story-based content. And once you get past all of this stuff, there won't be too many major updates in the story section unless they release a story for that specific event or collaboration. Most likely it's just an in-game event, them introducing a new unit. But how these work is this story reward will be an evolution material you need to evolve the staple unit or monster of that thing, of that event. Okay, so a good example is, let me go and find her real quick. This one. This unit right here is a unit for the every now and then event, the school years event. More like, I forget what they call it's one of the school years events where she is the main grab character you want to get. And I explained what each of all the different units or monsters were in the last video about this game. But she's a change unit. One of the best ones in my opinion, to be honest. But what makes her a story unit is to get this, which is the evil material you need to evolve her, you will have had to play the story mode while that event was live. And it gets you her jacket, which is her canonical item right here. And everything about this item helps her and her skill. And you can see when she in her changed mode, she wears this jacket. So this is her canonical assist. And the one you want to have two planners, or in general two of that unit, so you can have both the unit and the other version of the other copy of the unit to evolve into whatever it is. Or this what I mean by that is, this was the reward for the last story, the last released story related event. And it got you this, the miasma stone, because it evolved from him. I didn't get 2 copies of him, sadly. So I only got 1 copy to evolve into the specialty thing. When this comes around again, I'm going to try to get him again, so I can actually attach this to him. But this is an example of, like, if you don't have 2 copies, you'll just have the item. And most of the time, these event characters, the item is to evolve them into assist units. It's a rare occasion that is for a special evolution that you can't already do by playing the game on other units that don't evolve into assist items via this unit, via special material. Okay, that covers story because that was kind of the shortest one. Now we have stage. Under stage, we have normal and technical. We're gonna do normal first. Normal is the dungeons that you play and clear, simple and easy. It's like all your beginner units. In a lot of units you'll see that will be used by you most likely, unless you spam that gotcha button to get some stronger units from jump. You're gonna basically be using these dudes. If you compare the strength of these dungeons to later dungeons, it's a major distance. But and then when you finished all three, and they go by and they organize by the stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 set of dungeons. And then once you clear all those stages, you unlock arenas. These are like extreme, like training dungeons, challenge-based dungeons, and then like extremely just heart-wrenching, you better be good at this game dungeons. For example, training dungeon here is if you're good at the game to any degree, you're going to basically be able to beat this dungeon unless you have a bad team, because this dungeon needs a curated team that just oozes put together for this dungeon. Or you can even use your playthrough team if it's a team that has allocated skills, allocated assists, all of that jazz. And then there's the upgraded version. This one has some very good boss monsters, good grab monsters you would want to have. Specifically, these no, I'm not trying to play it. These 4 right here at the end. When you look at the available monsters you can get, they're very good. Now, if you don't want to, don't play those play styles, you can still get them for gems because all 4 of them have a gem form. And then this is why I say this is for those who really don't mind torture. Because if you're playing a dungeon full of just Tomadraw boosts or Tomadraws in general, yeah, Tomadraws are easy to obtain, but trying to fight them in a dungeon is a whole different story. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, these dungeons, as you get higher and higher in the spectrum, like Training Arena, Extreme Challenge Arena, and then Hellish Training Arena, the scaling, it goes up over time. That was normal dungeons. I'm describing the best I can here because there's so much to do in this game, and I'm going to go more into dungeons in the next video. Now, technical dungeons. This could be a video in of itself, but I'm just going to go do the overview of it. Stage 1 is like those normal dungeon level stuff. And then stage 2 is like in advance, is starting to lurk into like Pacific dungeon territory. For example, like you end off from normal dungeon stuff when you end off at 210, and then when you get to 211, these are chase monster dungeons after you get to 211. Like all of these right here will get you to different stone magic, like the stone dragons. They're basically just gemstone monsters. Collect all of these. You could make a team from the stone dragons. And then you get to stage 3. This is I already did a gameplay up to like recently. The only thing that stage 3 had was this. It only had like 3 to 3, but then they added like 3 to 4 all the way up to 310 recently. So yeah, this one is kind of recent. But all of the same, I've already reviewed and done those dungeons in another playthrough, in another playlist. I might even put it in the comment section. And then you get to the EX one. The EX1 stuff. This is where you really start the collectible type stuff. Like these all are to chase to get the chase mech dragons. In my opinion, unless you're going for the dark mech dragon, these dudes are very overrated. In my opinion, just saying. But they're very good. All the dragons in this game look pretty good, but their skills aren't the best. The ancient dragons are actually some of my favorite ones. These are very good chase monsters, but yeah, these guys are just it's that stuff right there. It's that stuff right there. I gotta say about that. That was an example of like this stuff. And then we have this one is for getting the ninja dogs. This one is for getting the insect dragons. On and on. Get the picture. And then EX2 from 2-1 to 210 is more collectible dragon dungeons. Like some of these are just single-handed, some of them are not. Like this one is to get a unit that reminds me of the whale from ReZero, if I'm being honest. It looks so similar, but kind of very unique and interesting. And then we have this one to get the Frost Dragon. And then you get to the rest of it. EX211 to EX215 are Descend dungeons. These tend to be red and higher level difficulty dungeons with some type of. This is also where you get into like the things like no duplicates and stuff like that. And they are color coded, by the way, for the different levels of knowledge you need to play those. Like green is just basic normal level. Red is you got to know what you're doing. Because these will stomp you into the ground with comes with stuff that seems like cheating on their end, but it's not. It's just super high difficulty of level of play here. Well, not for these, but normally a red banner means hard, and not if you just started playing the game, don't attempt them. And the last thing I'll say about uh stage is that you play through normal, and then you get access over time to technical after you get to a certain point in normal. And where you're going to start in this game is playing the normal dungeon. Wait, now we get to special stuff. This is a mixed bag of tricks, because this is where your collab stuff is. This is where your ordeal dungeons are. This is where your training dungeon is. Your Tomadraw dungeons are. Your evolution dungeons are. The rest of your descent dungeons. And they do, and most of these like change every day to every 2 days. Like, so if you see, like, for example, you see this rush dungeon right here. There's only 14. I only have 14 hours before they change this to a different dungeon. So if you see a dungeon you need, just go in and take it. And then you have the collab dungeons right here at the bottom, the endless dungeons here. And then if you see blue here, the blue dungeons are in between green and red. So they aren't hard, but they aren't easy either. You don't really need you're still in the range of green dungeons, but not really. Then we'll get into all of this another video. But this was an introduction to how dungeons work. Hopefully I kind of put all that together in one. Before I forget, yes, we also have multiplayer, but this is just all those dungeons. But you can play in a group, you can play against people, or you can just chill with friends. It's the little hub area for this game. I don't play it. I don't play with people. I play alone. So, like, I don't really use it. Anyway, with that being said, well, thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this Puzzles and Dragons 101. And I hope you have yourselves a wonderful day. Peace.